Chapter 3. The Café Savoy. The Café Savoy, as it existed at the end of my life, was not the Café Savoy of Kafka's time. The Café Savoy in the Prague of the 21st century was a high-ceiling Belle Epoque restaurant with filigreed confections of fondant and chocolate and marzipan. Not exactly the place you might imagine itinerant troupes of Yiddish actors putting on plays. The difference between the new Café Savoy and the Café Savoy that Kafka visited is the difference between, say, Eastern European Jews and German Jews. The German Jews considered themselves far superior to those dirty Eastern European Jews living in their shtetls. In my own family, this conflict played out in the marriage of my grandmother Ida and her husband Nelson. Ida, daughter of Hanna, was of Eastern European stock, while Nelson's family was Hungarian. The Hungarian Jews in my family were horrified that Nelson would choose a woman whose parents were from Lithuania and Latvia, and did everything they could to stand in the way, including, according to my mother, kidnapping her and her brother Alan for a couple of years, so they would grow up in a more sophisticated environment. The two families lived only blocks apart in Bensonhurst, and during this time my mother was never called by her first name, Elaine, but by her middle name, Sylvia, the name of a deceased relative on her father's side. These dramas between German Jews and Eastern European Jews were played out all over the world, until Hitler came along and neglected to make such fine distinctions between Jews. So many Jews of German descent perished precisely because they fooled themselves into thinking that Hitler meant those other Jews, not them, when he railed against Die Juden. My great-grandparents on Nelson's side probably would have loved Kafka, at least superficially, though he most likely would have found them boorish. He worked for an insurance company, a good German Jew from a respectable family. But Kafka detested the bourgeois values of his father, Hermann, the owner of a successful dry goods store.